Today I'm going to remove and disassemble my Traxxas 3.3 out of my revo. First I want to pull these, I'm going to pull these starter wires, get these out of the way. I'll loosen the exhaust. I think it's that. We'll get it out of the way so it can flop up. Get the right side in here. Get that loosened up. Pop out of the way. There's 4 screws down here in the bottom you got to remove. And that one takes the small one. I wrecked this thing and landed it right on its top on a jump. It hasn't ran right since. So I'm going to try to put a new block to see if it's got an air leak. I'm not sure if it's got an air leak from landing on its top or not, but we're going to put a new block in it. That'll be on the next video. I'm going to get it removed and get it apart on this one. Thinking there's 2 more right here. Had this out, but it's been a little bit. I think if you take these 2 out, you can get it to wiggle around and come right out of there. It's wanting to slip. That don't do it. Alright. Should wiggle around there. One screw here we're gonna get. This one knocked off. Alright, come out of there. Alright. And you gotta take these 2 out for your Opti driver. This truck don't even have a gallon through it. Ran great. I took it over to the skate park. Landed it right on its top. And it's been acting up ever since. Finally. Okay, I'm going to move the truck out of the way. I'll remove the exhaust. The exhaust out of the way. Gonna put the bolts with the exhaust. I'll remove the carburetor. Wrong side. Oh wait, that's got the... I'll get that. Now if I have a little wrench to get into that, I might just leave that for this one. I'll remove the back plate. I can still tear it down without removing the carburetor right now. Can reassemble it on a new block. It's 3 bolts in the back plate. So I'll put them bolts with the back plate, the way I don't mix them up. I guess I couldn't be calling it a back plate, it's a starter mechanism piece. We'll be moving the back plate here shortly. Easy start. Alright, the easy start will come off with the one way. 3 bolts. 3 screws. Move the easy start out of the way. It's 4 bolts in the back of the back plate to remove. I'll set the back plate aside with the bolts. That way I keep the bolts with the part. That's how easy the back plate comes off. My new block will come with a back plate. You can see inside the piston. I'm going to remove the clutch. It's a little clip there. Make sure you don't zing it on the floor like I just did. I'll look for that later. I'll put the clutch parts all here in the pile. Bearing. Now I'm going to remove the cylinder head. You got 5 little bolts here on top to remove the plastic guard. This thing can be a pain in the butt sometimes to get off. It's coming off really easy. Sometimes you need a little wrench or something to get that broke loose. Let's see if I can use this for a little extension. I use a little extension for extension on my Allen wrench. Break it loose. I'm going to take these loose in a crisscross pattern. Sometimes harder to find it in there. Deep down in there. Just find it. Get it loose and just zing them out. And I put them back together the same way. I go in a zigzag pattern. Go one and go to another side. Sort of like you would a head gasket on a car. That way you don't have too much pressure on one side and draw the other one down. I'm left-handed, so I'm using my left hand, but it kind of blocks the view. Got long screws, it takes time too. I'm just going to let the screws all in here. That way I don't lose them. Now we can see our piston. Now I'm going to pull the sleeve out. I'm going to use a hunk of tape here. To get the sleeve out. See how easy that pushed out? Piston back to where it needs. I get that out of there. And I get my screwdriver in under there and bump it right out. There, I got my sleeve. I'm going to set that up here so it stays clean. I'm going to get my piston out. Use a screwdriver. Bump it off. And I got my little piston. Appears to be in pretty good condition. Which I should have said, pay attention when you take your piston out, which direction it goes. I already know which direction it goes, so, but I forgot to mention. I'm going to slide that right back in my jug, or my sleeve. See your crank in there? I'm going to use vice grips to try and remove this nut. I wouldn't do this. I'm sure there's a special tool to hold it. I'm going to replace that anyways. See, broke it right free. Only do that if you're planning on replacing your flywheel there. Just tap the flywheel to come off. Probably better use a rubber mallet or something. But that's how I'm going to do it, because I will be replacing this part if it looks damaged. I'm going to put that part with this part, that way I don't get mixed up. I'm going to try to tap this out just on the wood. You don't want to use metal to do that. You can pry it if it's very gently. All depends on how much gunk you got in your motor and how hard it is to get out. Only very so gently. Pulling on this. Should be able to bump it a little bit more. Now I pulled the crank out without damaging the threads or the end here. Now we just got the block and the brace and the carburetor. I'm just going to leave the carburetor on there, and just this bolt takes the carburetor.